Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jini and today's video will be part 2 of my running 10 tamas challenge. As always, I don't want to talk too much, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, I have bad news. My generation 2 ran out of batteries and now I had to restart. Unexpected things happen and we'll just restart, it's okay. My Digimon Pendulum Z was calling out for me. I think that's like a spontaneous... Oh, I thought it was a spontaneous battle. And he evolved again. Guys, I was making waffles and I do think a bunch of my tamas require my attention. First, I'll take care of the generation 2. That was lucky. I really need to check. Oh no, this is so cute. I've never seen this animation before. This is a discipline alert. So we took care of that, and I'm surprised that the meters are still so full. Oh, this Tama also needs a little bit of praising. Let's have a look at my Merino. Our Merino evolved finally, but is unhappy, so now let's take care of that. Look at this animation. Isn't it just like the cutest thing ever? My Tamagotchi Jini evolved and is that character. I do think that is the bad cat character though. Yeah, no wonder why. But I love him either way. And the meats evolved and that is also the bad cat character if I'm not mistaken. Kurupoyochi. Our Paradise Toddle Young evolved. I don't actually know his name. Suikyuchi. He probably doesn't like the pellets, so let's feed him a few of the spring food items. It's Yamamechi, guys! Okay guys, so I made dinner and ate the dinner. So I wasn't able to take care of all of the tamas, and as I said, I don't want to pause on this challenge because I just want to see how well I can cope with all of the tamas without pausing. And the version 4... Oh! Our little version 4 evolved. This character is... I don't know the name of this character, but it does remind me like of a Sprout kind of character maybe. And at the same time, it kind of reminds me of a mummy, if that makes sense. Clean up the poops. It's very slow compared to the other releases. Good morning, guys. It's the 3rd day now, and they're all asleep, but let's see if... Oh no, I missed an attack on my Merino. I love how the snacks changed as well. Like before we had the leaves and kind of like crumbs, and now it changed to cherries, I think. By the way, I really love how the Merino has this screensaver. I think that's very cute. Now let's look at the pendulum. I do think... I really wanted to avoid getting Numemon, but I got way too many care mistakes. That was really bad. Maybe he's always doing bad because it's the bad cat character, but I cannot fill up the strength. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doomed to just feed him pills, because otherwise I really can't fill up his strength meter. Yeah. Guys, I think he's... Let's not lose hope. let's just keep on going. And oh, he's calling out, but he's still asleep. How did that happen? He must have fallen asleep while he was still calling out. I'm afraid to look at the meats. Oh, he's not dead, so that's good. I do want to take care of them a little because I do have to go to work soon. I don't know if they'll make it because I don't have enough time to like fill up all of the meters now. It's just too many. But I'll just try to fill up the meters as much as I can, and hopefully they will just get care mistakes and not pass away by the time I come back. Okay guys, I'm back and let's have a look at the tamas. It's only been a few hours, so the generation 2 definitely needs my attention, but yeah, it looks bad. And the sound is off too. That's just what I meant, like when you turn off the batteries, when you turn off the sounds and you forget to unmute it, it's kind of easy to get the care mistakes. So if you intentionally want care mistakes, maybe you can turn off the sounds and then you'll forget about it. It works for me unconsciously. It's not too bad actually. I expected it to be worse. For some tamas, I tried to fill up the meters before I left them alone, so that was good I think, because otherwise I probably really would have lost a few tamas. Oh, the connection version 4 is definitely calling out for me. Yes. So this was one of the tamas I didn't take care of before I left. I was really lucky for it to be still alive. By the way guys, while I'm filming this, the first part is already out and I've read your guys' comments on part 1 and I'm glad that I'm not the only one who kind of feels overwhelmed with too many tamas. Yeah, and it was just so interesting reading how many tamas you guys usually run. I do feel like 2 to 3 was like the most common number I observed like amongst the commenters, amongst you guys, but there were definitely a few people who run more tamas, and you guys, for anyone who is running one tama alone already, because I do feel like one tama already can be overwhelming sometimes. Of course it depends on the tama, but I do feel like most of us, we're already working or we're at school or uni. Yeah, just having a schedule and you know the tama not really following that schedule, it's already kind of clashing, you know, and it can be stressful. So I totally get it. So never like apologize for only running one or for running more. I think we run as many as we can and want to, and I think that's the great thing about hobbies, that you get to decide, you know. The meat, it actually evolved and is now Watachi. Okay guys, since I really don't want to play the mini games so often because they take too much time, I'll just go with a little naughty thing to do. I'll feed Watachi a lot of pudding and then just treat it for its toothache. I know that's not what a good tama mom should be doing. I'll have to leave in a few hours again, and I really don't want any of the tamas to die, so that's my best workaround for not using the babysitter function or like the pausing function. She probably has toothache again, as you can see. This poor thing, I'm so sorry, but let Watachi have toothache, then let it pass away. Here is the pig's party, and Kuro Poyochi is doing really bad, so I'll have to take care of that. Feed it lots of bagels, and then either play with it or give it sweets as well, like doing a toothache trick there. Yeah, but I don't think it works the same way as on the meats. I kind of feel like, yeah, see, the lollipop only filled up the meter by 1. So I guess I really do have to play the mini game with this one. I think the uni is still missing, so let's have a look at that. Who's this cute guy? Wait, I forgot his name, but let me look it up. I've never raised him before on the uni, I believe. Let's see. Onimaruchi. So shouldn't that be like the mascot of the uni? I think I'll just go with the margarita pizza first. Yeah, just buy one for now. But I really want to feed it one of the food items that I bought just to see if he likes it. Not really. The pizza maybe? Yes! So the pizza is definitely a food that he likes, so I'll go and buy more of that. And last but not least, we have the paradise. It just called out to me. I've also read in one of the comments that paradise is quite hard to kill, if that makes sense, and I'm very thankful about that. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know that I definitely prefer a less needy tama, just because I feel like it doesn't put that much pressure on me and it's a lot more easier for me to take good care of them, you know? Good morning, guys. I got home quite late today. Got up a few minutes ago and I wanted to check on the tamas. It's quite early, so most of them are probably still asleep. Let's check on the merino. It should be still asleep. Yeah. No, it's not. But I need to take care of the injury. It took me very long to cure it for the injury. I don't know if that will be really bad for the merino and if it will die in the long term. We'll see. And the pendulum, that was obvious, so I need to take care of that. Guys, it's happening again. I think when it's dying, the only thing you can do, as far as I've read in some guide, is to like push the button 100 times, and if you do manage to do that, it should survive. I think that's it. You know what, guys? I will restart it. Probably won't make it to the last stage, but I'll still restart it just because I wanted to run 10 tamas. That's our first dead we've had, and we'll wait for the new egg to hatch. Oh no, I especially wanted to take good care of the plus color before I went out yesterday, and I tried to fill up the meters as much as I can, but I do believe it was just up very early today, hence it's sick and a lot of poop has accumulated. I love this facial expression of young Mechi. We've unlocked the profession room, and I wanted to show you guys the screensaver of the merino. I think it's so charming. Like, I mean, who thought of that? It's so cute. Oh, why didn't I hear it? Why is it muted? It was from when I tried to, like, you know, get a new egg. Yeah, this time I really want to try to keep the effort high and not get Numemon again. I need to go out real quick, but I'll be back soon, so it won't take me that long. I hope that they'll all survive. Okay, guys, I came back home. Whoops. Tama evolved and got sick. Whoops. And this time I got the bad cat character. But at least he's alive, so I won't complain. Oh, and now... yeah, okay, we succeeded with chasing away the human, I guess it's supposed to be. Guys, I just looked at the plus color and it actually evolved into Kuchipachi. I'm not sure if he's a good care or bad care character, but I don't really mind. You can never have enough Kuchipachi. And the actually, wait. Who's this guy? I don't know this guy at all. I've never raised him before. He's Bob. He's just Bob. And Bob is an adult now as well. And a very interesting adult. So the top line here are all adults. Only 4 are missing. These here at the bottom. Good morning, guys. I just woke up and I wanted to check on the tamas. I think they just woke up as well. Every time I see him, I just think I don't know what he reminds me of. He reminds me of some like cartoon character, but I just can't think of it at the moment. Now let's look at the pendulum. Oh! It actually evolved. Wait, did it evolve like while being in sleep? This is one unique thing I know about the Digimon devices. They can evolve while they're asleep, which I think is interesting. It's different. This is Gizamon. I actually aimed for another character, but I got too many care mistakes. As long as it's not Numemon again, who will just die after a few hours, I'm all good. Do you know that the other tamas are probably, yeah. look at the state what the watachi is in. Finally able to get the favorite item of Orinechi, the big slide. And Ringotchi evolved into Tamagotchi. I love that you can let the tamas come close on the connections. Yeah, just see them more in detail. Wait, actually all of them evolve into adulthood. Except for... well, my Murino is dead. That was somehow to be expected because I did feel like I missed way too many attacks, and when I was cooking, it took me way too long and I didn't check on him. But I've never seen this death screen on the Murino, so that's actually quite interesting. And you know what, guys? I'll just restart it and I'll get this one. Guys, I just got up and our Digimon evolved into... I forgot what his name was. He sometimes makes that angry face, which I think is really adorable. And his name is Yukidarumon. I was kind of busy yesterday, so I wasn't able to check on them as much as I wanted to. The Jini is still missing. How did that happen? I don't remember like the happiness or hunger meter being so low or my tama being sick or calling out for me. Honestly, a little bit shocked because I felt like the care for the Jini was okay-ish. It's really sad, but it's okay. I've never had a tama die on me on my Jini, to be honest. So that's my first time, but there's a first for everything, so it's okay. Yeah. Okay guys, I think I'm ready to wrap this challenge up. I think it has been going on for long enough. I just wanted to give you guys one last update of every tama. This is the generation 2. I didn't manage to get this one to adulthood because I had to restart once. The Murino. This one unfortunately passed away once. So I restarted this one and the first stage felt so unneedy and I was just kind of underestimating the second stage. It felt a little bit needier, to be honest, which is quite unique. If that's really the case, maybe it was just my subjective perception. If you do want to see a thorough review of the Murino Tamagotchi, let me know in the comments down below because I'd love to. Let's look at the Digimon Pendulum Z with Yukidarumon, and I'm very satisfied now with my second run. I mean, I do feel like it's on the needier side somehow, but because the minigame can be played so quickly, you know, where you just have to shake it for a few seconds. So the calling out neediness is there, it's moderate, but the effort required to fill up the meters is not a lot, so it takes away that neediness feeling, if that makes any sense at all. Let's go to the Tamagotchi Connection version 4. And I actually found out his name, which is Tozakachi. I just think it's so funny how this animation looks so different to when he comes close. That one, similar to the Tamagotchi Connection re-release, they were just really similar in their neediness. The minigames are kind of lengthy, so that adds to the feeling of neediness. Now let's come to the first color screen tama, the Tamagotchi Plus Color. And I enjoyed running this one so much. First, I do feel like I've said it in the first part, but I just feel like the screen is so vibrant and I love the retro feel of it because the minigames were so fun to play. It was so easy to keep the bars high, to fill them up, and it didn't feel all that too needy, even if it called out a lot of times. Kind of like from the feeling, very similar to the connections, but I do feel like I enjoyed running this one more just because I love the minigame. It's so fast paced, the buttons are so responsive, it's satisfying, you know, and a little bit challenging challenging, but just not too much. Just like the sweet spot. The meats. This is Watawatachi. Yeah, and it felt really needy because the mini games I also consider to be quite lengthy, and navigating through the menu until you reach the screen where you can finally play the mini game also plays into that whole feeling of it just takes a while until you can fill up the meters. So I was definitely really grateful that I could just feed it sweets and just treat it for the tooth pain, even though I know it is like borderline cheating. Then let's talk about the Pig's Party. Oh, and it is upset. I feel similar to the pigs as I feel to the meats. I feel like in neediness they're both very similar, especially because for the pigs, when it's in its teen stage, you cannot just give it the favorite item, because as far as I know, there is no favorite item for these in-between stages, and the only thing you can do is to play the mini games, and since they rotate a lot, there are a bunch that are kind of just difficult to play, and hence I feel like filling up the meters is kind of tedious on the Tamagotchi Pig's Party, similar to the Tamagotchi meats. I mean, once you grow up to be an adult, it's a lot easier to take care of the meter because you can find out the favorite item and just scan the QR code and just give it to play like multiple times. But this takes up a lot of time as well. Now let's come to the uni. I don't want to show it, but I have to. Yeah, it's still dead. I didn't revive it because I knew that I was wrapping up this challenge pretty soon. The uni in general, I didn't really consider to be quite needy, but then later I feel like I underestimated it, and I have the feeling that I kind of unconsciously neglected it more because I felt like, yeah, it's such an easygoing tama, but this just shows that you shouldn't neglect it too much. Even the uni has its limits. And last but not least, the paradise. And just like some of you guys have commented in part 1, it is very resistant to neglect and to dying as well. So I feel like I unconsciously neglected it more than the other tamas. It definitely didn't get a lot of attention. All in one, I'd say if you're looking for a tama that will call out for you quite a few times, I'd say all except for the paradise and the uni are good choices. They all have different levels of neediness, but they all called out approximately the same, I'd say, except for maybe the Merino, because that one in its first stage really wasn't calling out at all, I felt like, but in the second stage it started to become a little bit needier. Yeah, in general this challenge was just so much fun. It really felt like I had a kindergarten of tamas. I don't want to lie, it is a lot of stress and it makes you anxious at some point or other, but it was like such a fun thing to do anyways, and I'm definitely not opposed to run even more in the future. Yeah, let me know how you think I did, but I really want to be honest, I'm really happy that now after I wrap up this challenge I can choose to run less tamas, because I feel like while I was running all of these tamas I didn't really have a lot of motivation to enjoy all of the unique features of the tamas. And at the end, thank you again to all of the people who suggested this video idea. If you have any other ideas that could be interesting, feel free to leave that in the comments down below. As always, I thank you guys so much for watching. I wish you a beautiful weekend. Take care, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!